Alright guys, I was just wanted to show you a little trick of the milling machine, and I have a block here that was I squared it up as a long bar in the vise, and I went through and squared it. Traditional squaring routine, just keep rotating it using the jaw, the fixed jaw, as your square point. And each time you rotate it, it squares it back up against the jaw and squares the block up. But then I took it over to the saw and slid it, and now I have to square up the ends. So the ends are just saw cut. There's a little scribe line there for my reference of my overall length. So it's about 100 thou. Might be a little more than that. So what I want to do is show you how to square this up without using a square. So as I just said previously, this jaw is square to the base, square to the table. It's been trammed up, the head's been trammed up, so it's been squared off to the bottom of the end mill. But now I'm just going to put it in the vise and just tighten it down. I don't even need to hammer it down at this stage of the game. I'm just taking a quick skim cut. So that's about 5 thou. Just coming across. So all I know now is that this face is square to this face, and the back face is parallel to this face, which makes the back face square to this face. But I referenced this parallel, so this could have been sitting in the vise, depending on how that was saw cut, could have been sitting any which way, but it still leaves this face square in this plane. So if I put a square on it in that plane, it would be square. But if I put a square on it in this plane, it might not be. So what you do here is you just give it a quick deburr. And then you clean out your vise again, clean off your parallel, and this time it was sitting in the vise like this, but it might have been sitting, as I said, cockeyed. It referenced the parallel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take it, flip it over, and rotate it 180 degrees. Put it back in the vise. And now what this does is it squares up this plane. You can't have your parallel on an angle. Like, the parallel can't be sitting under it on an angle like that. The parallel has to be here or no parallel. But since this gets, you know what? I'll go with no parallel. It's still above the vise, the jaws of the vise. So now when I tighten it up, it might do this. And you see a little gap? because remember I said this face to this face is not parallel. But what it does is it still squaring it up this way by referencing that edge. So put it back in again and tighten it up. This time you want to give it a couple little taps down because you want it nice and tight at the bottom. So then start back up the milling machine, go in, touch, and put on 5 thou. So this time, this block is squared up. This face is squared up in both planes, forward and sideways. So this face is now what I would consider finished. Clean out the vise. Undo it, take it out. And at this point we don't want to confuse. This is the square face and the one on the jaw is the not so square face. So right away what I like to do is take a black magic marker, flip it over and say, I need to take that one to size. I can't even measure it yet because this top face could be on a bit of an angle one way or another. So I have to deburr it. Clean it up, clean up the jaws. And that's the finished face, so I have to put it back in again and take that one. So I'll show you how much out of square it was. So I'm just going to tap it back down to the base. And this time, I'm just coloring in the top. I just want to show you how badly it was out. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to take the featheriest, lightest cut here. So I'm just cranking up the knee until I can get some witness. There you go. So I'm going to test it, see how much it was out. I'm going to touch here, because this is the high side. You can barely see a witness of a cut there. And I'm going to crank up the knee, and you'll just have to believe me because I don't think in this video you can see the knee. Bring the knee in. So right now I'm sitting at 10 thou. And I'm going to start cranking it up until I get a witness here. It was 3 thou out of square, so I move across and it'll take a heavier and heavier and heavier cut. So I'm going to crank on another 2 thou. This was a bad example, because obviously my saw is cutting pretty good. So now this block is completely square on all sizes, all sides, parallel, and it was all done without a square, using the machine as its own square. Thanks for watching.